Fink, NJN News, Washington.
The chairman of the state chamber, who also heads the largest health insurer in the state, says New Jerseyans probably haven't seen the worst of this recession yet. Bill Marino says he expects unemployment to worsen in the months ahead. Jim Hooker was in Washington, where he spoke to Marino about the economic picture here in the Garden State.
I think we know in the chamber that our members are suffering like other employers, and certainly the large employers in the state are experiencing layoffs.
What do you see on the horizon in terms of getting out of this thing? I recognize you're not an economist, but you are a businessman, so some are saying a year, some are saying 2 years. Some are saying this stimulus plan they're talking about in Washington as we stand here will have something to do with when we come out of it. What do you see?
Well, I think no one really knows exactly how long this recession will last, but I think everyone believes it will be longer. It's already a year and deeper than any recession since World War II, and I think that's commonly understood to be the case. My own sense is that we're going to be seeing increases in unemployment probably to the 8.5 or 9% range nationally, and that we'll see that through the first quarter of 2010. Even though the recession may end sometime in the second half of 2009, typically unemployment would trail that. There would be a lag between a pickup in employment and a reduction in unemployment and the end of a recession. So I think, in all likelihood, we're going to see unemployment continuing at the levels that it will peak at sometime into the beginning of 2010, even though we may come out of the recession prior to that.
Do you have any thoughts on the economic stimulus plan and its impact on New Jersey?
Well, I think we need a stimulus plan. I think people are arguing in Congress, which is pretty apparent, over whether it's tax cuts or spending largely on so-called shovel-ready infrastructure projects. Fortunately, we have one of the big ones here in the New York metropolitan area in New Jersey.
The tunnel you're talking about?
That is the tunnel into Manhattan, and I think other projects as well. So while there's some argument over the details and whether it ought to be more tax cuts or spending, we certainly need the stimulus package, and I think it will have a positive impact nationally and certainly here in New Jersey. And I know that the administration is trying to get some of the dollars from the stimulus package directed here, and I think a portion of that package will be aid for the states in some critical areas, including Medicaid spending.
Blue Cross Blue Shield is also feeling the pinch of the recession. The Newark-based nonprofit with more than 5,000 employees is under a hiring freeze. Marino says he doesn't foresee layoffs and adds that any workforce reductions would come through attrition.